Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Tuesday.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, all the days get blend up the last week of the 1 year moving into the next, and you have had days off work and everything blends.
Yeah, I think also because I had Monday off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this felt like my Monday,
Right.
and the way our assignments are due on Wednesday every week, we have to get like our topical things in and stuff. And when they sent in the like sent out the assignments this morning, they were like, "Yeah, tomorrow." I was like, "Tomorrow? I guess we moving everything up." I forgot it's Tuesday. So anyway, yeah. You can find this podcast, the Blackout Tips, everywhere you get podcasts. Search it. Leave us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate that. The official weapon of the show is
The taser,
an unofficial sport
bullet ball.
and bullet ball extreme. And I guess we can kind of just go ahead and start getting into the show. I don't have much to talk about that happened today. I guess the main thing is I had to turn in like the second draft of this thing that I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I have to say, man, like I really enjoy the process of it.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
know a lot of people, especially writers, they're such
Right.
tortured souls, and they write about how hard it is and how, and you kind of have to be your harshest critic, and to some extent, because
Right.
what you write is designed to be criticized, and it's never going to stop. But I've embraced that part. I accept it. I think that's the beauty of it. You never can really get to perfect.
Mm-hmm.
um but I enjoy the whittling of it, like how you whittle
Mm.
down wood into a shape and sculpt it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that part. Like I like sculpting it into something that's going to be better. And the thing I'm writing has to be like 10 to 12 minutes, between 8 to 12 minutes long. And I enjoyed kind of refining it today and cutting it from 12 minutes to down to like 10 minutes, and figuring out, how to make a through line. And honestly, I know that that's not the end. Some other people are going to look at it, and they're going to have ideas, and they're going to want to change some things. And it'll be a little different than last time, is where a lot of times the final hands that it was in was like our hands as writers last year. This time I think the head writer and then Bomani will probably have a lot more hands on. So at some point it's just not going to be my baby anymore.
Right.
um and I'll look forward to that too, because I really think for this show to work, I had ideas last year that I'm watching them execute this year. Not like they were listening to me. They didn't give a fuck.
Mm-mm.
But there were things that I was like, yo, if they really want this to work, it should be like blank. Like we
Right.
like, and I've said this before on the show, so I don't mind saying it here, but I've always said we do not need to be writing too much for Bomani. The thing that makes him so dope is that he can extemporaneously go off the top of the dome and give you a take that is at once concise, but also thoughtful and also unique in a lot of cases. And that's what I love about his podcast. What I love when he was on the radio. Like that is his skill set. And a lot of people in late night don't have that.
Mm-mm.
Every word just about got to be written for him, or it's all in the teleprompter, and that's cool. But if we want to make something different that is unique to Bomani, we need to be leaning into that. And so I think this year people are going to be so excited to see him kind of get to do it differently and spread his wings a bit more, and really be in his voice even more so than last year.
That'll be fun.
And
Because you
I'm
can
looking.
tell as the season progressed along, because like anything, you begin to be just more comfortable in the position and everything going around, and everybody's learned the process, including him. So it was just a fun ride.
Yeah, and to keep in mind, he's a unique talent, but this was his first time having a show where he's the guy, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like a training wheels thing where like you don't want to set somebody up to fail by just throwing them in the fire and be like, you got it, and at the same time, you don't want to like retread what everybody else has done, and now you're just making the same show that everybody else did but with a different guy. And
Right.
so it's been cool. One of like I watched the Daily Show, and one of the things about Trevor Noah where he really shines the best to me are actually the interviews and the off the cuff segments that he does where he's just talking to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can't really script those and you can't like make one of those every night, but he's so fucking good at that. It stands out from the other shit. Even when the other
Right.
shit is good,
Mm-hmm.
it's never going to be better than him like saying, I was thinking about this thing and then giving you a take. Um and so yeah, this year I'm thinking it'll be a lot less of us writing stuff and it'll be a lot more of him kind of like taking in stuff and then pushing out for in a way that only he can. So I'm excited about that to see how it turns out. But yeah, so that's a little different than last year, because last year it's like it could be down to like the last day or two and you're like rewriting this thing to make it into what you think they want, and so I think this will
Mm-hmm.
be different. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I enjoyed it today. Like I went to work like looking forward to this, and I didn't like panic or anything. Like we had an extra day off. I didn't like work on it on my day off. I was like, nope, I'm gonna listen to music.
Right. And enjoy your day off.
No, I'm talking about when I came to work today. I said I'm gonna put my headphones on, I'm gonna listen to
Oh,
music,
okay.
and I'm just gonna bang this shit out because I think I kind of have a good spine to what I want to write, and then just moving some things around, taking the notes that I got. And I think I wrote something pretty dope, and we'll see when I get the next feedback or whatever the next step is. Maybe it'll be Zach taking it on. But yeah, it was a good day at work for me.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah. When I'm gonna enjoy your day off, like you said, you didn't do it yesterday. I was like, yeah, you just
Yeah.
wanted to enjoy your day off.
Yeah, the first week when I had forgot I was a bad bitch, I did spend some time on my day off working on it. Because I was just like, oh God, what if I can't do this? What if I get to work and I don't remember how to fucking write? And it didn't, something just snapped that week. I was like, nigga, you got here, you earned that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a mistake.
Mm-mm.
I know what I'm doing. I'm good at my job, and I'm always trying to get better, and I put in the work, So I was like, all right, you know what? Calm down. You got this. And yeah, so I feel pretty good today.
Yay.
All right, let's get into these segments and stuff. We got a little bit of coronavirus news.
Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dumbest expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit, I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no Drew Holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus. Yeah. Fuck that COVID-19 is unseen. It's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah. So fuck that COVID-19 is unseen. It's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah.
Coronavirus news. Super variant it's called these motherfuckers are getting Star Wars drone names, the droid names. It's called XBB15.
Oh shit! BB1? What the hell is happening here?
Right. Like what is the new C3PO virus is strain. Yeah,
The
and
new
this
Kylo Ren virus. The hell is this?
he's not a droid, but it's interesting because the headline is super scary. It's from Australia. Super variant, new XB115 COVID strain ripping through the US and UK, worst in the world.
Okay, and then when you read it's just a virus is maybe like the numbers might be a little higher, but it's probably not like outpacing everybody. Like once you read the article, y'all go, okay, y'all just did this for sensationalism.
Like it is growing at a fast rate. Like the
Right.
cases nearly doubled over the last week. It's behind about 3/4 of all the cases in New Jersey, New York, and New England. And while it's still the early days, experts are growing increasingly concerned about XBB.1.5, but following the reports of huge spikes of hospitalizations in areas where it's taken over. But once again, they haven't had the data to confirm that this is causing hospitalizations.
Right.
It's just, causality versus what correlation or
Yeah.
whatever.
And only time will tell on that shit. Like
Yeah.
some shit just takes time for them to actually get true numbers, true stats, true statistics.
Yeah, they think Harvard trained US epidemiologist Eric Fiegelding recently shared a series of alarming posts on Twitter regarding the so-called super variant, warning it was amongst most immunity evasive escape variants to date, and that it was one of the best variants for invading human cell and also spreads much faster than older strains. He described it as the next big one. I'm always a little worried. No offense to these guys. I know they think they're trying to help. Always a little worried about the viral Twitter doctor thread.
Right.
Because a lot of times these people be wrong and there's never any retraction, and they always promote the worst case scenario. They never go back and go, actually, you know what? Looking back, this one wasn't that bad. It was spreading faster, but people don't get that sick, or blah blah blah. Like there's or people with updated vaccines don't seem to have an issue. Like it's just always like gloom and doom, and like millions will die tomorrow. And it's like, oh
Yes. Next week, half the population will be dead, and you were like, "Yeah, I don't think this is how this works, y'all."
yeah. And the things that make this is the same thing I was talking about yesterday with the Andrew Tate Pizzagate thing. Uh, funny, Pizzagate. I guess liberal people do have. Maybe we're all alike. I don't know. Anyway, it was funny, right? Because she was inaccurate, but she didn't delete that tweet, and then she made a long ass thread about why she tweeted the way she tweeted. But the tweet was essentially not just wrong, but it was misinformation. It wasn't just a wrong guess; it was her telling us I have a scoop, and then finding out she was making shit up.
Right.
Well, with these like panic doctor posts and shit on Twitter, there's never a retraction. They never delete, and there's never a time to not promoting the worst case scenario. And then it makes it into these news articles, and it's like it's the worst in the world. And it's like, well, from the guy that called every strain the worst in the world.
Right.
Anyway, I'm not saying not to be cautious.
Right.
Obviously, I'm being cautious myself, but let's wait till we get some actual fact-based evidence from, rather than just panic posting.
Right. From people that are actually doing the studies, people that can actually give you stats, numbers, statistics, people that can look at the numbers last week, last month, last year and compare it. People that could take this strand and look at the other ones to see how much more more or less contagious it is and things like that. And also, it's one of those things, and we talk about this, but I will continue to say that this is what happens when you have a lot of journalism, like legit journalism, actually combing the internet for shit versus and there's nothing wrong with them combing it, but they need to fact check shit. A lot of times they just comb for shit, next thing you know it's on the front page of everywhere, but it didn't go through their normal chain of command, and somebody would have been like, hey, did somebody verify this? Check this again. What was your source? Be sure that source is correct, because we don't want to be liable. We don't want any lawsuits. Like, that's why they did that shit.
Also, they always counter anything the people in authority are doing. Nothing's ever the right decision for these people. Like, for example, he's against the testing of Chinese people that are flying into other countries, since China just had a huge explosion of COVID because they took back every restriction at the same time. No
It
ramping
was
down any of this shit.
right. It was no
And
slow process. They was like today, tomorrow, different
and
rules.
his argument is, well, XBB.1.5 is gonna be way worse than China, so we're worried about the wrong thing. And I'm like, but when if you're Mr. Zero COVID absolutionist,
You be worried
wouldn't you
about
do both?
everything,
Hold on. Wouldn't you do both?
right? That makes
Like,
sense.
wouldn't I don't understand. Like, when would you like what is it just I don't know, man. This has been going on for a while, and I feel like there's people that have become COVID influencers and shit. And
Yes.
to some extent, I wonder how helpful they actually are being when they do this shit.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't really think of it like that, but that's actually a good word for it. COVID influencers, like their whole brand is everything COVID.
yeah.
That's their jam. And I understand people wanting to be on top of it, and people wanting to be informed, and people want to be educated and all this stuff. But what you can't do is everything is just the end of the world, doom and gloom. You don't got no facts. You're not consulting any like doctors, and even sometimes people can be doctors themselves and just have wrong information because it's not peer to peer tested or
Well,
anything. They just talking.
we've seen people weaponize their doctor, PhD, and shit to spread misinformation. So I'm not saying that's what this guy's doing. I think there's nuance here and it's different, but I think there are certain people that have become like the panic influencers, and he's one of those people that is always preaching worst case scenario. And when it doesn't turn out to be worst case scenario, there doesn't seem to be a level of like learning to the future of like, oh, maybe I don't need to be the first person to say it's gonna kill billions of people. Let me stop and go, well, we'll see, but here's what I'm looking at, Anyway, China, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say because that doesn't benefit them. That's why they don't do it.
Yeah,
Like
well, there's a built-in incentive to go
right.
viral. I was just
Mhm.
talking to somebody at work about this. It's We've changed. If there's the thing that's gonna end quote unquote cancel culture, if you believe in that shit, but the thing that's gonna end the whole idea of cancel culture is not gonna be enlightenment from everybody going, oh man, this got a little out of control. We started like jumping on people for just being human, and a lot of times the outrage didn't fit the offense, right? Like, we're not gonna have that
Right.
moment of enlightenment. What's gonna happen, I think, is that people are just gonna start quote unquote tweeting through it because they just don't care. And I think because the consequences of repercussions ultimately are as strong as you let them be in certain scenarios, right? Like, if you let people bother you, then that's the part that they want to get from you, is to watch you be bothered. And so I think to a certain extent this kind of mirrors that, where like I don't know that these people are ever worried about the next set of tweets and going, well, last time I said some shit that didn't happen, so let me calm down this set. I think they're like, no, last time I had a whole lot of people tweeting at me and sharing my shit and
So I got
panicking,
to outdo myself.
and so now I'm gonna do it again. Like, I think that's the lesson you learn. Not okay, I said the numbers have been going down for most of the year, and I had been saying they were gonna go up for most of the year, and now they finally went up. I'm not gonna say, well, I was wrong before this. I'm gonna say I'm always right. I've been right, and I told you they would go up. And so anyway, I didn't even get on that tangent. Lastly, China is mad. They believe it's unacceptable what these other countries are doing by enforcing Chinese travelers to get tested for COVID
But it
before they can enter the country.
it makes sense. Them po things. They don't realize they going through the shit that other countries already been through. Like I said, other countries already been through this. The second outbreaks was happening in other countries, people just banning people left and right. Australia was locking the shit down. So they was like, nobody in this bitch and nobody out this bitch. You are not special. And people going, you actually lift your rules up. This shit spread. No, y'all can't just come over here. And next thing you know, our country numbers are skyrocketing because y'all just want to come over here and do oxen free. No.
Keep in mind, the biggest issue to me has been the lack of transparency and the fact that people don't believe the numbers coming out of China. So if anything, they're probably being cautious, not just out of like the obvious xenophobia of some of this shit, but they're
Agreed.
probably being cautious because we can't even be sure the information we are getting. And if any of this shit is true, that y'all went from daily lockdowns to fuck it, y'all go get the COVID then, to to now saying like we're gonna underreport deaths, and to while hospitals are full and we're getting information from people saying it's so many people infected and shit, there's literally hours long waits at emergency rooms. I would test y'all because I don't know what's telling the truth. You know what's gonna tell the truth? These COVID results.
And they
Like,
know it, and
it's unfortunate,
you know people gonna
but
get real numbers, right?
yeah, it's unfortunate, but like, what the fuck? We can't just go on vibes. Y'all are having problems, and we don't trust you. So I
Right.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the. Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry, but this is one of those ones. I guess I agree with these governments.
I do too. And if I had a government with the population or populace, I would be like, y'all can come here, but yes, everyone will be getting tested. Like this makes sense. There was a period of time where Americans were going out and they was like, bitch, we gonna test y'all too because y'all got a motherfucking lunatic up there that didn't give a fuck. So all y'all niggas getting tested. So
and
it
look,
just happened to other countries. They're not
I do
special.
I do get it because I think airline travel has really changed since the pandemic entered into this like endemic phase, and anyone could have COVID on a plane at this point, and they're not enforcing masking and stuff. So I do understand the idea of like, but y'all not doing blah blah blah. Yes, but y'all really let everything happen all at once and want no reaction to it. Period.
It was y'all didn't do a
Y'all
slow
gonna have to go
process.
through. It's gonna have to burn through y'all society for a while before people go, okay, it's kind of what the rest of us are doing.
Right.
But right now, they're kind of reacting to the information, which is y'all hot right now.
Agreed. And like I said, they are literally going through the stages that a lot of countries went through a few years ago. Literally, there it's like other countries are like, yeah, but we've actually been through that process. Like y'all are doing this shit for the first time. We already know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. Your numbers gonna jump up, your numbers gonna spike, they're gonna plateau, and then they're gonna go down. Y'all gotta go through that process. And you just can't expect us to open up our borders knowing that y'all are going through this process. That's not happening.
All right, let's get into regular news. All right, regular news time. Let's get into it. Stop me if you heard this before.
What?
Malachi Love Robinson headed back to jail.
Again?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know who this person is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a grown man now, but that's a little boy that was impersonating the doctor, right?
Yeah. So Dr. Love, he's now 25. He pleaded guilty to fraud charges in a separate case. This time faces charges of grand larceny, theft, organized scheme to defraud. An organized scheme to defraud. He was scheduled for 28 months in prison for the crimes. An investigation was launched March 2020 when the owner of United States Freight, a shipping broker in Delray Beach, claimed Love Robinson had rerouted business payments to go to his personal accounts. Love Robinson became well known years before in 2016 when he was just 18. He was charged with operating a medical office. We all remember that story. Presented himself as a certified medical doctor, which he wasn't. He pleaded guilty to the 6 charges. You know what's funny is that no matter how old he gets, that one headshot is the only one you ever see of him.
Oh yeah, ain't no reason to update. Why we gonna update it?
Him and that
That's
Dr.
so
Lab,
everybody can remember.
him in that Dr. Lab coat with his hand on his chin,
Right.
smiling with some glasses. Like
Freaking them people out.
that picture's gonna be on his motherfucking tombstone.
It is. He gonna be forever known for that pic.
A husband forgets his wife after a roadside toilet break and drives off for 100 miles.
Forget. Or nigga, you just left her.
A husband in Thailand accidentally abandoned his wife on the side of the road and carried on driving for 100 miles, believing she was asleep in the back of the car.
Oh, did he go out and she didn't tell him she was leaving, so he just figured out she was back there or something?
They pulled over so she could use the bathroom. I guess he thought she got back in the car.
I don't believe you.
They took a Christmas Day drive through the night to her hometown in the province of Maha Sarakam, but the driver had to pull over his Isuzu pickup truck to urinate in the night, and he stopped the car on the side of the road. After he stepped out the car, his wife decided she could relieve herself too, and she ducked into the nearby jungle for a quick bathroom break. But when she returned to the road, the car was nowhere to be seen, and she was left stranded in the dark. The aggrieved wife had no money or phone, so she decided to walk in hope of finding help. Eventually, she walked 13 miles.
13 miles. She walked, what is that, a quarter, a half, a marathon? What she was doing, a marathon?
Into the center of Kabinburi. She found a police station about 5 a.m. She asked the police to help her find her husband, but she didn't know his phone number. Which that is new for me. I feel like, well, maybe, you know what, then again, we've been together so long, and
neither one of our numbers have changed.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe if it was like either a new number or, if someone just got married like a year or two ago, maybe I don't know. Maybe it sounds crazy to me that you don't know your husband's phone number by heart, but that's crazy. Anyway, she pleaded with them to help call. They rang her phone 20 times, but Boontom, her husband, failed to notice it in his car as he drove onward, blissfully unaware of the panic he caused.
I don't believe you. No, you did that on purpose.
By the time the driver realized his error, he was 100 miles away from his wife, and he had to turn back and collect her. He had believed she was sleeping in the backseat the entire time, but desperately raced back to pick her up. The couple have been married for 27 years. I have a 26-year-old son.
What?
I'm going to be honest. I believe it. I believe he did it by accident. Because it's too stupid to be a lie. Like, they weren't fighting.
Okay, they didn't fall out or anything.
Yeah, like, unless he just on a whim was like, I'm gonna murder this bitch by leaving her in the jungle by herself. Like, I really just believe,
unless they found out he done upped the insurance policy or some shit.
I just think these are two stupid people. One person too stupid to know the husband phone number by heart, and the other one too stupid to know if she was in the back seat. And I do believe he got out to pee, didn't know she was needed to pee, and so he's like, oh, she must have went to sleep in the back seat. All right, well, I ain't gonna wake up. We driving in the middle of the night, and I know the fear of not wanting to wake a sleeping wife up, because you don't know what's gonna happen. So you just gotta, sometimes you just gotta ride it out and be like, okay, guys, sorry, no podcast tonight. So
I do like my sleep. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm with it. I think he thought he was being a nice husband. I don't think
he thought he was being nice.
That's what I think. I mean, I just feel like if there was an ulterior motive, it would have been presented at some point in this article. Like, hey, actually, this motherfucker was a piece of shit.
But like, hey, these are just two dumbasses, and that happened to be married for almost 30 years.
Yeah, he found out I was cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been some extenuating circumstance that would have popped up. Mom in tears at stranger's sweet gesture after nobody attended her son's birthday. 10-year-old boy was sent some cards from all over the world after nobody showed up to his birthday party.
Oh.
His mom explained that she invited more than 40 people, both children and their parents, to her son's Avengers-themed birthday party, but nobody bothered to turn up. She claims almost all of them RSVP'd yes to come, but she was left heartbroken when only her close family knocked at the door. Taking the Reddit, the mom from Boston, America, explained, my son turned 10. He loves Avengers, so his dad and I decided to throw him a party at the house. We invited family and friends, and most of them RSVP'd. We made enough food to feed 40 plus people. The place looked awesome. Avengers decorations everywhere, balloons, cupcakes, the whole 9 yards. Only to have me and my husband, immediate family, be the only ones present. I'm talking 6 people max, not another single kid at the birthday party. It broke my heart.
Yeah, I'd have been sad. But you know what? We'd have had a motherfucking time with just us. Fuck them kids.
Her poor son, called Abe, kept looking out the window to see whether any cars
Oh, was gonna
pulled
show
up,
up.
but
Oh,
each
poor
time he
Abe.
checked, there was nobody there. Now I do have to say, who names their kid Abe? And like, come on, Abe. Guys, we're over that. We're not naming kids Abe no more.
Might as well we don't hear this Abraham then. We that close to it.
We done with Abraham. Y'all know if Karen gotta go, Abraham gotta go. I have a bag full of goodie bags, a pinata still intact and unopened games. The mom added, "It sucks. We had a small family and it made my son feel like a loner on his birthday. He's a great kid and he's been looking forward to his birthday all year. How are you going to RSVP and not come to a kid's birthday party?" After sharing her heartache online, social media users quickly clubbed together to rewrite the boy's birthday. They asked her to set up a P.O. box so they could send her son cards and gifts from all over the world. While she was skeptical that anybody would actually send anything, she set up the P.O. box and waited to see what would arrive. When she finally got around to visiting the post office, she couldn't believe how many cards and packages were waiting for her in her son's name.
Oh.
She added, "We were finally able to get to the post office. I was in tears. You guys really outdid yourselves. Abe got so many cards and packages. It was unreal. We're deeply moved by the love and support you all have for a random little boy. We sat down with Abe and read every single card. My son loved everything. He is so excited to have cards from all over the world, awesome comic books and toys. His mood was definitely changed. He's so much happier. This will definitely rewrite the bad birthday party he had."
Oh, that's sweet.
I don't believe it.
Oh, you don't? Why not?
Now, see, the last story I believe, because people can be that stupid. It's not that this couldn't have happened. It's definitely something more to this story.
Okay, and that makes sense for no parents to believe. It's like either it's the parents or the kid. Like it's something for everybody to be like, I'm not wasting my time.
It's something like, y'all not gonna trick me into thinking this is sweet. What is it about this family? What y'all was it a COVID outbreak and y'all was like, guys, we ain't wearing no mask at our party? Was it? Is
And the other people's like, we're not coming.
Is your son the school bully?
You never
You know
know.
what I mean? Like, what do y'all have MAGA outside the front door? Like, what is it? Are you black? Like, explain. I'm not saying it's got to be bad. But something happened, and it ain't just. No one does this. No one. 40 people don't RSVP for a kid's party and then don't show up by accident, coincidence.
Oh no, they purposely didn't come, so something happened.
Yeah, like this. Something is up. Is your kid weird? Is he the pee boy? What is the fuck up? You're not tricking me with this one. Or did you make the whole thing up so you get gifts because it's Reddit?
I hope not.
So you could have made the whole fucking thing up. Reddit's kind of anonymous if you wanted to be.
Mm-hmm. So they don't pass the smell test.
Something is up. I'm not even saying it's their fault, but she didn't tell the whole story. If it's I live in Florida and my kid is trans, I'll be like, oh, okay. It's these niggas transphobic. It's something. Who the fuck don't kids love cookies and cake and ice cream and shit? That's all birthdays are.
In the Avengers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why the fuck would no one show up? No one. Y'all can't trick me.
Say it's something more than meets the eye.
You either get a whole story or shut the fuck up.
Tell us what really happened.
A man allegedly claimed to have vials of viruses in his pockets as he robbed a Salt Lake County banks.
Oh, so now we just walking in there with vials of COVID and the flu.
This, first of all, this sounds like a Batman villain.
Yes, it does.
You'll rue the day that you kicked me out of your lab, Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
You just giving way to viral load. I'm gonna unload my viruses all over the city.
This is that scientist that they fired. It was on the verge of was getting ready to have a meeting to pitch their thing, and they got fired the night before. They fired the whole team, and just because CEO, they're just a terrible person. It was like, you all fired, but I was on the break. We don't care. You're fired, and they like ushered them out, and they went home and thought about it for 3 days, and ended up getting mad. And this what happened. They show up to the banquet with specimens.
Yeah,
Specimens. I'm sorry.
yeah, I think that's exactly what I think. Bruce Wayne or some Lex Luthor or somebody fired this nigga when they was on the verge after
Yes.
years of research and lost money, and they was on the verge of like solving like how to fix viruses so that they can use them to heal people instead of kill people, and the motherfuckers fired this nigga on the 11th hour and shit, and it was like, you can't take my lab and my research. And Lex Luthor was like, yes, the fuck I can. I'm Lex
It's
Luthor,
in my name
you
now.
broke bitch. And he was like, oh, but my virus suit, it can solve the world. It's like, take your trash and get out of here. And they stole their virus suit, and then they said, you know what, I'm gonna start robbing banks to fund my research so that I can, because I'm still committed to using viruses to heal people, obviously, but I
Right. And
need to
I'm
do
still
it
and
with
I'm still smart as hell.
and I need to do it with an alias of Viral Load. And so Viral Load is out here with vials of viruses in their pockets, and they like, give me the money. And
Oh, you
then
you know what?
whenever
They'll come out. Who are you? I'm XBB15. That's who the fuck I am.
and then whenever Batman tries to catch them and shit, they have viral puns, you know.
Yes.
And then they infect Batman with a virus, and then he had to, you know, fight the rest of the episode, but he also fighting the infection. And then the third act, he get the cure. You know, that's always how it works. So, yeah, I could absolutely. He was like, I'm sorry, Batman, but it looks like I flew the coop. And then he throw a flu virus on his ass, and he'd be like, oh no, I got the flu. And then, then he get the hell out of there.
He'd be like, why don't you take some of this COVID-19? And it make you grow like 19 toes or some shit like that.
Mhm.
For no reason.
You know what they say, Batman? It's a smallpox after all. Oh man, I'm gonna rob some banks in the inner city because it's a black plague.
Oh no!
Because he's also racist, guys. I didn't say that part earlier, but he's
Of course.
he's also racist.
Of course. If you're gonna go down this road, go all the way down. Don't half step on this road. Go all the way down this road.
I have a joke about yellow fever that I'm not gonna make, guys, because I'm a classy person.
You're a classy man. We done came a long way. We not trying to get canceled YouTube. We ain't trying to get kicked off of YouTube.
You know what? Not my ministry. Not nope.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you.
Nope.
Anyway,
nope. It be like that
moving on.
sometimes. Shit cross your mind. Well, I be like, you know what? I would tell this to ride, but not on the mic.
He's because he's also a racist.
Oh no!
How come the bad guys are never also racist in these TV shows? I don't know why.
Right.
Like, I'm just thinking of animated Batman, and they have villains, but the villains is also racist, and I don't know why that's making me laugh so much harder. To be Firefly is only burning down the projects. It's like, why would he do this? Because he's a villain and he's racist. All the villains have got motherfucking they true blue equality. You know what I'm saying? None of the villains.
Right. They attack everybody equal. They equal opportunity villains.
Yeah, like the Joker's never started a joke with like two black men walk into a bar, Batman.
They ain't never sexist. They be like, they ain't going up and like, come here, bitches. I feel like attacking you today. You don't never hear that.
Yeah,
they
did have
the
some
Joker
sexist
just
ones.
attacked the whole city.
They did have some sexist ones. Mad Hatter, his obsession with Alice and turning women into. I've just never seen a racist one. It's like, you listen. I'm evil. I'm not that evil. Come on now. I'm not. All right, moving on. Before I say that yellow fever joke, it's too racist. A homeless man robbed 2 banks in Salt Lake City, claiming to have viral viruses. Not viral viruses. That's how they knew he wasn't no real scientist.
They were like, you're using the word twice. This does not work.
He got viral viruses. Did this nigga also have gunny guns? You know, I got these guns. Okay, and I'm gonna need to rob y'all. He said he had viral viruses in his pockets. His name was Murphy James Holly, 38, originally out of New Mexico. He's arrested on Thursday for first-degree felony aggravated robbery, use or threaten of a weapon, with 2 counts. 2 counts.
Mm-hmm.
The first robbery occurred December 8th, shortly after 4:40 p.m. He entered Zion's Bank, located, who gives a fuck about the address? Reportedly wearing a backpack, yellow medical mask, and a hooded sweatshirt as he handed a note to the bank teller, which read, "I have 2 small vials of viral problems."
Not viral problems.
Viral problems.
I got problems for you. You know that's serious.
Viral problems is what I call Kanye's Twitter account. I didn't know viral problems could also be viruses.
I didn't know this is how this works.
You don't want these. You don't want these viral problems. I'm telling you right now.
Viral problems sound like a rap album title.
Right. Did he also have viral hands? Like these hands are rated E for everybody because they viral. So he reportedly demanded money from the teller and was able to get an undisclosed amount of cash before Batman showed up. And he said, "It looks like I just RSVP'd my way to prison," and he threw the vials. And
that's exactly what happened.
Police say he left the note with the bank teller that was later seized as evidence. The second robbery occurred December 13th at the U.S. Bank. According to Probable Cause affidavit, Holly was allegedly wearing the same backpack along with his yellow it sounded like he had a supervillain
costume. Yeah, y'all think we bullshitting? Sound like this was. He was like the only thing he was missing. I wanted to wear the lab coat, but that would be spotted sooner.
Right. Like, don't worry.
I didn't put the pocket protector on this time.
Viral load had something for everyone. So then he
spread
said,
my load everywhere, Batman.
he said, "I have 2 vials of viral disease," in the next note that he wrote. And he left with an undisclosed amount of cash. The third incident. Officers had responded to a holdup alarm as bank employees reported the man inside the bank was the same man who robbed the bank on December 13th. So he went to the same bank as the second robbery. According to that,
he went back. He didn't. He had no henchmen. By the third time, we need henchmen.
Right.
What the fuck is this? No. 2 times it becomes too much. You need somebody else to be carrying your load.
Yeah, that's true. He did need some. What would his henchmen be called? The viral load is the bad guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they would just be diseases.
So they would be the viruses like flu.
Yes, I told you they'd be the XBB15. They'd be like the periodical table.
Black plague, grab the money. We got to get out of here.
Bubonic flu. Take them out.
Oh, Batman, I see you're back. Have you met my friend Human Papillona? And then get him HPV. And then
Batman, have you met my friend Polio? He's the one over there with the pole.
Yeah, hit him with a polio. So now here's the thing, Karen. We've been making jokes, but the last note says, "I demand money. There are 2 vials with viral viruses in my pocket. I worked in a lab."
Oh shit, we was on something. I told y'all, don't be fucking with something. He got fired. Something that they pissed him off. And he went back there and he stole whatever y'all got back there and them sealed containers back there that they were like, don't cross this line, it'll kill you. He put that shit in a glass container and was like, I kill everybody in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Karen be knowing, Karen be knowing.
Oh, y'all check, but this department got downsized or some shit. Something happened.
Something happened. That's the former janitor and all the people that used to work with him. Supposedly he's a homeless man with no ties to the community, police say. Well, maybe not that community, but the community of Gotham. Maybe you should check out there.
Go check Gotham City out.
He was allegedly scouting other banks to rob and attempted to rob another bank in addition to the 2 banks he robbed, and he's been booked in jail. I don't have a picture, so we can't play Guess the Race.
Okay. That's hilarious.
That is a wild fucking story.
I don't know.
I just can't stop thinking of him as a supervillain. All right. Let's do something a little different. Let's do some let me see what segments I want to get into. Oh, you know what? We haven't done this in a while. We don't really have music for it, but I'll play some songs. But let's do this broke segment that we,
broke. If I broke, we ain't got it.
Yeah.
Ain't got no cars.
All right. Broke. Ambulance workers stage walkout in strike hit UK over pay hike demands. Yeah, they must not got the pounds, mate.
They must not. I mean, and they are literally frontline workers. Like, they see you before anybody else sees you. So, yes.
You got to run the big man this money, bruv. Striking ambulance workers in England and Wales manned picket lines on Wednesday, escalating a pay dispute with the government following walkouts by nurses and other public sector staff. The series of stoppages are causing misery to Britain in the run-up to Christmas, with railway workers and passport control officers set to ruin festive holiday getaways as the government vows to resist the growing pay demands.
Oh, so they don't want to pay them? They was like, okay, bitch, we'll inconvenience everybody. Y'all got places to go. Guess what we ain't gonna do? The job that requires you to get to these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's been resolved now because it's kind of an older article, but this was not that. It's only 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So yeah, they don't want to pay their first responders. That's such a crazy. But is it any crazier than this? A new law allows college students training to be teachers to substitute as teachers at the school.
What?
Right.
How, Slay?
Right.
I understand shadowing, but that's different.
And I think this is one of the
Am I gonna get some credits for this? The fuck is this?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I imagine you would get some credits for it. But that's not the problem to me. I think you're looking at it from the student's point of view, but I'm not. I'm looking at it from, this is probably a result of one, the way we treated teachers during COVID and making them come to school, amount of teachers that died and got sick and retired. And then the fact that we don't pay teachers. And with that, we have one party in America that treats teachers unions like they're fucking trying to rob a bank. And they don't want to pay them anything, any rate increases or what they're worth. And we keep lowering the standards for what it is to be a teacher or to substitute as a teacher because we actually don't have the manpower, woman power, person power to keep this shit going. And so to me, this is emblematic of the bad decisions we've been making around teaching in general. And then now we're saying shit like, I know you're not actually a teacher yet, but just come be a teacher because we don't have time. We don't have the money.
Yeah, and this is very sad because, like you said, the way they handle COVID, the transition, you had a lot of teachers retire because they was like, bitch, I'm not coming back in there for no COVID. You had a lot of teachers retire because you were forcing a lot of older teachers to get on to technology that they wouldn't train. You just literally just shipped everybody home. It was like, bitch, learn how to do Zoom on the fly and teach and do all this other shit. And a lot of teachers was like, no, bitch. A lot of them changed fields. A lot of them left. And you had a lot of teachers that were upcoming teachers that were in college and saw this shit and literally just changed. Like I wonder what's the statistics of the amount of people that were in college to be teachers, seeing how poorly they treated COVID and just left the field altogether and just changed their degrees.
Another law expands the number of days substitutes can teach in a row from 5 to 15. Another
Woo.
law, another law lowered the minimum age of school paraprofessionals from 19 to 18. It's all about getting younger people in the workforce, possibly also because you want to get them before they understand the cost of living and how they can't really survive on these wages.
Right. Right.
You're gonna
Yep.
have people that are quote unquote teachers living with their fucking parents.
Yes.
Not that that doesn't happen already, but I mean, even more so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're going to have, but like this, it's a difference if you're teaching and you have a degree and shit like that. You're going to be actually teaching, being paid to teach. You actually don't have the degree behind it, like, or nothing else. So if anything happened at any period of time, they just decide to let you go. So I mean, not trying funny, does that fuck up your degree? Because all of a sudden, the colleges are going to start to adapt to this. Now, does this fuck up my degree? Like, how does this fuck up my hours and all this shit? Like, this, I could see this being a whole fucking ass mess.
Because we broke. If I broke, we ain't got it. I'm selling my blood. Millions in the US can't make ends meet with two jobs. More Americans have been working two or more jobs over the past few decades, census data shows.
Wow. Yeah, because the cost of living has gone through the roof. And is that one reason why we keep seeing the plasma banks everywhere?
I mean, they've been had those, but yeah,
Okay.
sure. But the thing is with the two jobs, we've been talking about this for a while with minimum wage. I remember when McDonald's put out the like how to live on McDonald's salary, and part of the budgeting for the process of how to live working at McDonald's was to have another job.
Right. Because they just
Like
didn't want to pay you what you were worth. Right.
they built it into the model of like, we don't expect you to work at McDonald's as a career. We're going to limit your hours so that you're still part-time, so you're not getting full-time benefits. And then we're going to tell you you should go get you another job if you want to pay your rent, because that's not going to happen here.
Right. And that's why a lot of them fight against the $15 minimum wage and all that shit. Because then now you're going to have to pay people. And the thing is, like I tell people, a lot of these places are 24 hours. Who the fuck is serving your kid at goddamn 3 a.m.? Who's serving your food? Not a child.
And women are more likely than men to have multiple jobs, and multiple job holders most prevalent among low-wage workers. So
Yeah.
basically, lower income women are more likely than anyone in America to have multiple jobs.
That makes sense because a lot of women, just sexism, you don't want to pay us, no way. And a lot of women work in the industries that are considered labor, restaurant, housekeepers, house sitters, babysitters, shit like that. Nurses, not nurse, not really. Well, we're in the nursing field, but more teachers, shit like that, where you actually don't want to pay people for these fields, but yet these jobs need to be done. And so you don't increase the pay and all this shit because odds of a man being in these positions are low, and if they are, it's not enough for them to actually demand that that you pay them what they're worth. And so it can be very frustrating. It can be very
Yeah,
frustrating. And for a lot of women, a lot of these women most likely are single parents, most likely. And if they're not single parents, shit, a minimum wage job don't cut it. So you can have literally two parents and y'all working four jobs. Like that ain't no joke.
Yeah, and if a lot of times you're the one who's gonna be stuck basically raising a kid, you can't
Hmm.
afford the luxury of not having two jobs.
Right.
Like you definitely need to have the two jobs if somebody gonna have them. You know, you know what I mean. So, um, I could totally understand that. And yeah, it's just kind of tragic and sad the way that shit plays out. But yeah, I absolutely believe that. And they're just saying it's becoming more and more people that are working these two full-time jobs. Based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 400,000 Americans work two full-time jobs. In September
Ooh.
2022, 4.9% of all the more than 164 million U.S. workers held two or more job positions, which is now over 7.7 million workers.
And the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, as growing up in a household with a single parent and watching my mom literally do this, work two full-time jobs. She would literally work one job 8 hours a day, come home, sleep a few hours, and like turn around and go to another job and literally work all night long, you know. And the thing is, when you working, so you're talking about 40 hours. Let's say each job is 40. I'm talking about 80 hours a week. Odds of you sleeping enough is low. Odds of you being healthy is low. Odds of, unless you have a good community around you, odds of, particularly if you're a parent, odds of you being able to monitor and watch your children are low. How many of these parents are able to get to PTAs? How many of them able to be involved? How many of them able to go to all these functions? Because and a lot of times these jobs, guess what? They don't want to hear I got to do something for my kid. They're not a lot of these jobs aren't flexible. Is either you be here or you don't get paid. A lot of these jobs don't have no motherfucking PTO and sick days and shit like that. And it's purposely designed like that. It's purposely designed like that. And it's very frustrating, and it makes me upset because it's like one job should be enough. Nobody should have to work two jobs unless they have the desire to work two jobs.
Ain't we lucky we got 'em getting some hay by the water? Um, yeah, I think other thing I would add though, we both work two jobs.
Yes. Yes,
We
we
do.
do.
So I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I think it's a certain type of job that is the
Right.
more like menial labor, the minimum wage stuff that people think of. But I think also like sometimes people are just kind of quote, for lack of a better term, because I would never refer to myself as this, but they're just kind of hustlers. Like people that
Yes.
work, people that always got a couple irons in the fire. Always got a couple things going. It's kind of funny because one of the things I always hear people say is shit like, I don't have a dream job because I don't dream of labor. And that shit been going viral for a couple years. And I get it. I hear you. But I always think like, yeah, but at the same time, like y'all have tried to monetize everything you do. So like
Mhm.
you're saying you don't dream of labor, but you're clearly striving to make money off of every thought you have somehow. And I think that's kind of human nature to try to make a living off of things that come naturally to you or what you're gifted at. I think when we think of the kind of two jobs that most of us are thinking about, we think about them struggle jobs. We think
Yes.
about, that shit that you don't want to do. And I think that's where a lot that don't pay you well and you don't want to do it.
Right. Right. Giving you your high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes and shit like that. Like that. That's more of what I was kind of talking about. And also, I think a lot of this, maybe the way I'm looking at it is a result of the gig economy. Like the gig economy comes around, and now it's convenient to do Lyft or Uber or Grubhub and all this shit on the side in addition to your job. Like, it's like a lot of these side gigs are actually more convenient. So you might have people
Well,
before that
that's
might
the
not have
thing
thought
though.
about it, just doing
That's
it.
the thing though, because I read that book after the gig. That's not really true.
Okay.
So they market the convenience of it, but that's their selling point. The truth of the matter is they're telling you that because they're not going to allow you to have a 40-hour job where they pay your benefits. So they make it
That's
sound
true.
like you can just
That's
clock
true.
in whenever you feel like it.
Right.
Because what they really saying is we want to treat you as a contractor, not as an employee, because if you become an employee, we actually have responsibilities to make you whole. We,
True.
whether it be insurance, whether it be health insurance, whether it
Right.
be
Dental insurance. Yeah.
what all the benefits, 401k stuff, they like, we never gonna give you that shit. So they sell you on like, it's just convenient. You can work whenever you want. Like, nah, nigga, you want me, because if I work 80 hours, guess what? I still don't get benefits.
Right.
So anyway, last one. This happened a couple weeks ago. I'm guessing it's fine now. But Orlando Airport at one point could have run out of fuel Sunday night on a Sunday night in December.
Oh shit. Fuel for the airplanes?
Yeah, we broke.
Ain't that the biggest airport in the country? The fuck is this? So one of these you gotta ride the rail to get around that bitch.
Orlando?
Oh, okay. I thought you said Atlanta. I'm about to say Atlanta. I'm about to say you gotta ride the rail to get around that bitch.
No, in an official notice, the agency said the airport could continue having supply issues through about 7 p.m. Tuesday, and suggests that airlines should be prepared to operate flights into the airport with enough fuel on board to fly back out.
What?
Don't you bring your ass up in here with you ain't gotta go home. Don't you bring your ass up in here with just a little bit of fuel now.
Who you vote for matters. Like, because
y'all coming up here on governor. Y'all coming up here on eating. I don't know what you and your little friends gonna do, but you can't stay here. Okay, we got ass, gas, or cash over at Orlando Airport.
Orlando Airport. You better hope you got money to get to that mouse and back, because we ain't getting you there.
Oh my God!
Right?
Insane.
That's ridiculous. In fucking Florida.
Broke, five broke. We ain't got it.
We ain't got it, my nigga.
Oh man. All right, let's start wrapping this thing up. Let's guess do a little bit of guess the race.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Oh yeah, guess the race time. Oh shit, I forgot to bring this up earlier, but I just saw the news alert. Man, the Republicans trying to get the Speaker of the House is ghetto.
It's you know what? I was listening to the Daily this morning, and these white people was giving all the tea. Like they actually kind of informed me on what the fuck is happening. Whoever the dude,
the ghetto.
the dude that's the Speaker of the House,
McCarthy. He's trying to be the Speaker of the House.
Well, he's trying. Put it like this: he's trying to be the Speaker of the House, or the would-be Speaker. Them people, them right wings, them right Tea Party people, them bitches don't like him.
Yeah, the MAGA people, not Tea Party, but yeah,
they don't like him. And so, what's happening is he don't really have enough votes to just get himself in there. So now they having to vote, and if he don't get enough votes, they're gonna have to vote again. And if he don't get enough votes, they're gonna have to vote again. And they literally are just trying to wear everybody down.
Well, they have voted, I think, 3 times already, and he did not get enough votes each time. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat, keeps getting more votes than the Republican, and there's a group of the Republicans that are just so they defected and they're voting for Jim Jeffries, who's like an overt MAGA Trump apologist, racist dude, and they're giving him like 20 votes, and they can't afford to do that. And the main thing I had to say, and we'll get into guess the race, but this is why my girl Nancy Jamaica Pelosi is a motherfucking bad bitch, because she would never
allow them to do that. Nope, not that foolishness.
No, you better get your motherfucking dissension out. But the day before we vote, you got a problem, say it and say it with your chest. But what we not gonna do is get out here and look disorganized in public. When we go in here, don't touch nothing, don't say nothing, don't, you know what I mean? Don't break
She was like,
nothing.
this is the shit we ain't gonna do. Put like this, and if you come out and say I'm against it, bitch, I know I got enough votes for this shit to pass.
Right.
That's why I don't give a fuck about you complaining.
It's ghetto bullshit, man.
Ain't it ghetto? And the
Y'all talking
Democrats
about
are just sitting around going, ooh, child.
the Democrats been having such a good time because they've been taking pictures with popcorn, like about to go down here and watch these Republicans defeat themselves. Like they've been having a good time laughing at them, and I've been laughing too because, like, you know, it's nothing we really can do about it. They have the numbers, but if they want to beat themselves and not have a fucking majority leader for a few days or whatever, good, fuck them. I love seeing them fight. I don't want us to fight. I love seeing them be the ones to have to admit they got a schism in their party that's unreconcilable, you know. So yeah,
Right, and they
I
have
love
people, and they have people in their party that's against literally almost everything that your party stands for. They like, you're not right enough. And
right.
so they was like, what you're not gonna do is lead us because we don't actually give a fuck about what you're talking about.
Not on Nancy's red bottom watch. Okay, no, you won't. And you thought it was easy, didn't you?
You thought that shit was easy,
You thought it wasn't gonna be no problem, huh?
like herding fucking cats.
Right, you dummies. Now look at you, stupid, looking stupid.
Mhm.
All right, now we can get to this article. Sorry, I had to laugh about that. God damn. Alabama woman was arrested for $77 trash bill and put in handcuffs and taken to jail.
What?
You know how they do, Karen. You know how they do. Apparently, the protocol of Valley, Alabama is to issue a warrant and arrest for those that don't pay the trash bill, which is why 2 cops went to the home of Martha Meanfield. A video of the incident is circulating in Minnear Paul. The elderly woman was late on paying her $77.80 trash bill and was rightfully confused that she had to go to jail for it. You know what? Because I wouldn't have assumed that either.
Right, with it being such a low amount, like this ain't worth 2 of y'all
Not
coming
even
out
the-
here.
That's not even the amount. I just would assume you can't go to jail for not paying the trash bill yet. You know what I mean? Like the first step is jail or whatever the fuck. Oh, the 13th step even, like jail, nigga. So they knocked on her door and told her she had a warrant, to which she was confused. The officer said he's not joking. She said, so you gonna handcuff me and take me to jail? He said, yes, ma'am, I have to. Footage also recorded one of the officers laughing at one point during the arrest. She told the officers that her daughter handles the bill for her, but they had still insisted she had to go to jail. She was then handcuffed and told the law is the law and placed in the back of a police car. All right, Karen, guess the race.
Black.
Karen's going with black. Let's check the chat room. Black. I never seen this during. I've seen I had to recuse myself. Oh, okay. So it sounds like a lot of people seen this one. Black. Okay. Well, the correct answer is black. I didn't know you niggas had already seen everything. My bad.
And 82. I mean,
right. Alabama still holding it down since Jim Crow.
Right. They go to jail because as far as they bodies equal money.
A motorcyclist was jailed for trying to impress his first date with a high-speed police chase.
That's not the way to impress me.
She must have put her hand on his knees, put his foot on the gas. He almost got whiplash. He drove off so fast.
Yes. The music was high.
Talk about, and this girl's hand was steadily moving up my thigh.
My
Talk
thigh,
about
yes.
songs that aged badly.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I forget the exact line, but there's one line in there where it's like, I'm 15, speed turns me on or something. You're like, what's happening? We was doing some wild shit back then, huh?
What was happening? Like I think this was a much older woman. What was happening here?
No, she was younger.
Oh, she was younger. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Like what was happening here?
It's like, yeah, I think he was like, so it was some type of thing where he said she was young. I remember also backstage underage Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yep.
Obviously High Five had
Mhm.
that song about the woman being older than him. I think just
Mhm.
can't handle it. Like we was
We was listening to
Woo.
that's why I be telling people y'all be looking up and turning your nose and judging these kids' music. I was with no better.
some of my favorite songs. I'm like,
Some of my
ooh,
favorite bops that come on today, and I will be like, hey,
that was up in there. You know what I mean?
because I'm an adult, so I actually listen to the lyrics now. I
Right.
wouldn't listen to the lyrics. I was like, oh, I like that beat. Boop, 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 boop.
Like High Five is like, I was walking to school.
Yes.
First of all,
You caught my eye.
first of all, you were walking to school.
I was walking to school, my
This
nigga,
grown ass woman seen a
with my
little boy.
backpack on.
This grown ass woman seen a little boy skipping his ass to school, sucking on a lollipop, and was like, I got
With
to
my
give me
members
some of
only
that.
coat.
Right. That boy is wearing them cross colors. My God.
Just can't handle it.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I remember them songs.
Yeah. It's like I was only 15. She was 25.
Yes, that's
Under the
exactly what he
jail.
said.
Under the jail, ma'am. This is grooming.
Yes, this is.
So
This would not be acceptable on 2022 standards.
This motorcyclist who led the cops on a high-speed chase because he was trying to show off for a female passenger with whom he was on a first date, has pleaded guilty to a felony charge and will serve 2 months in jail.
I don't think there's gonna be a second date. No, sir.
Or maybe there would. I don't know. I guess we'll see. What is she into?
Yeah, this might have been right up her boat.
She was like, "Listen, I got the need for speed." Taylor Beverly,
That's all you
23-year-old.
got to tell me.
I need to live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Apparently so.
Say less. Taylor Beverly, a 23-year-old Tampa resident, cop Thursday to fleeing or eluding charge in connection with the chase last year. In addition to the time behind bars, a judge suspended Beverly's driver's license for a year, ordered him to pay a $700 fine. After Beverly blew a red light in front of a squad car, police began chasing his 2017 Suzuki, which weaved in and out of traffic while running additional lights and traveling at well over 100 miles an hour. While Beverly was fleeing, his passenger later told police she was screaming at him to stop, but he refused. That doesn't bode well.
So I don't think that was her kink. I don't
Yeah.
think going 100 miles an hour was her jam.
And I don't think you want to date a man who doesn't take screaming no's for an answer. You know what I mean? They say the president is prelude.
I might die.
They say the president is prelude. You know what I mean? No, thank you, sir.
Right, and on top of that, now, if they start attacking you, I'm getting attacked. I ain't got shit to do with this.
Right now, I'm some type of accessory or some shit. But while Beverly was fleeing, his passenger said she was screaming. This is the first day. Upon being apprehended at an intersection, Beverly confessed and stated he was trying to show off for his date. Court records show that Beverly, who works at a roofing company, was previously convicted of grand theft, cocaine possession, passing a bad check, and probation violation.
Who passing bad checks in 2022?
Following a 2019 motorcycle crash, he was cited for reckless driving and driving an unregistered vehicle.
Was he trying to impress the girlfriend too then?
That day he was trying to impress one of the homies. Beverly was arrested in April for allegedly slapping and strangling the ex-girlfriend.
Oh no!
What I say, man, a person that can ignore screaming no's, probably not a good guy. But prosecutors dropped the felony and misdemeanor counts after the victim requested the case not be prosecuted. Court filing revealed. Guess the race.
Yeah, something, but I ain't trying to be funny. Shout out to the states and be like, fuck that, we're gonna charge you anyway. Right. Like, no.
Guess the race.
White.
Karen's going with white. Let's check the chat room, see what y'all believe his race is. Drop the case, white. Watch whiteness work, white. Whitey gonna white. Fast and Furious, Booger Sugar Night. White because he didn't die after the police chase, felon, and still got a job. White. GTA reject, white. The correct answer is white. person got it wrong.
Why does his hair look like a toupee?
I thought his hair looked pretty good, honestly. But it does look weird.
Okay, that's what I meant. It looks weird. It looks strange.
Yeah, I think on closer inspection, I think you're the one that's right, not me.
It look abnormal. It's like, the haircut fit it.
It's like he got a fade all the way around. It's like he got Beijing in his hair, except for the top.
Right. And I've seen that cut before, but at least normally the front would have came like all the way up to the top of the head. It's like they cut around the toupee. That don't make sense.
All right. Well, Karen, so far you're 2 for 2. Are you ready to try to go 3 for 3 though?
I am.
All right, here we go.
That was why.
I ain't racist. How can I be racist about
anything
or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
Gold
right.
teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey ate baboon, big guy, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
A New York woman. Oh, not my city. Okay. A New York woman has been arrested for allowing her 10-year-old son to get a large tattoo across his forearm, artwork that was spotted by a school employee who reported the illegal ink to law enforcement.
What? Oh,
Mhm.
Okay, so she gave permission, but the baby wasn't supposed to get it or something?
Well, I don't think you are allowed to legally tattoo a 10-year-old, whether you have permission from the parents or not.
Okay.
Police this month busted Crystal Thomas, 33, for endangering the welfare of a child. She was booked on a misdemeanor charge and released from custody on a town court appearance ticket. Thomas's son was placed in custody of Child Protective Services. According to police, the boy was tattooed inside of a room in a hotel where Thomas and her 2 children reside.
Oh no.
Yeah, they live in a hotel. That's never good. The Ulster County Hotel is about 100 miles north of New York City. Before inking the boy, the police say the tattoo artist got permission from Thomas. The resulting tattoo, the boy's name in full-size block letters, was inked across the child's forearm. The tattoo was large enough that you would need a sleeve to cover it up, said Janso, that's the police officer, James Janso. Officials learned of the tattoo earlier this month when the boy asked the nurse at his middle school to apply Vaseline on top of the fresh ink.
Of course, because that's a child.
Janso described the tattoo artist as a person of interest who could face criminal charges, including tattooing a minor and endangering the welfare of a child. The whereabouts of the male suspect are currently unknown, but then they update the Austin Smith, 20, was arrested for giving the 10-year-old a permanent tattoo, and he was charged with endangering the welfare of a child and a second misdemeanor. So, all right, Karen, guess the race of the mom. That's his picture. We have Crystal Thomas.
Black.
Karen's going with black on this one, guys. She wanted her name tattooed on her son's arm. Black is a tattoo ink that is going to turn green because it doesn't show up right on our skin. Hotel 100 miles from NYC, as white as the buffalo snow, about as dirty until the hotel pool opens up. Black, baby mama son, black. Lived in a hotel, black. Damn, D. Smoked meth while making and carrying the boy, white. The correct answer is Karen went black. Some of y'all went black. Some of y'all went white. Correct answer is black. Now, some of you did miss it, though. Now, Karen, what was the giveaway?
God, that baby for life.
What was the giveaway, Karen?
It just sound ghetto. You come into the hotel, you inking my baby and where we live. I mean, you inking a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the problem all the way from the beginning.
Yeah, I would have missed this one because I thought it sounded white, but I think you're right. I mean, you were right. So I can't knock you too much, right? I mean, I would have said it was a white person, but turns out This is some Negro behavior. All right, let's get into the last thing, sword ratchetness.
Yeah, somebody brought up they think the mom might be hoeing, and I wouldn't like that. Might have been part of the deal. The person was like, "Well, let me ink your baby for for
I,
a test run."
this is getting very this is getting very problematic, and I'm ejected. I don't know what happened.
You ejected?
Yeah, y'all. I was more comfortable with viral load than this. I was more comfortable with the yellow fever joke than I am with this shit. Too critical in sword attack in Odisha,
That's where I draw the line, y'all.
Balasore district. Balasore, in a tragic incident, as many as 2 people sustained critical injury following a sword attack in the Mitrapur area under Nilagiri police limits of Balasore district in Odisha on Tuesday. As per reports, it was over a verbal spat over some land. And the verbal spat took an ugly turn when Kilia left the place and returned along with his brother and 20 other goons.
20 other? What
all of them
happened? Y'all multiplied.
All of them attacked the father and son duo using sharp weapons, including swords.
See, this is what the viral load dude should have did. Then he could have robbed the bank and actually done better. He was trying to do this shit solo.
Well, he got away with 2 of them. As a result of the attack, Kailas Prasad sustained grievous injury on his head. Again, another person identified as a truck helper also became a victim of the attack while he had got down from his truck and was trying to side the truck, park. After getting information, Nilagiri police reached the spot and sent the critically injured person to the hospital. Police have detained Geotermaya and the son of the critically injured persons. Further investigating the case is underway. All right, y'all, that's it for today. Be careful if you get any land disputes going on. A motherfucker start getting fidgety by the swords. Get the fuck out of there. It's not worth it.
Yeah, be careful if you go to the bank and people pull out vials.
Yeah, somebody got a yellow mask on and a backpack. Go ahead and just go to the ATM.
You notice the uniform? Don't even go in there. Just turn around and leave.
All right, that's it for today. No show tomorrow. And we will try to do Balls D Sports either Thursday or Friday. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Talk to y'all later.